fishing world? Trevor Wagner coming back at you again today. Today, I'm talking jerkbait fishing. That's right, the good old jerkbait. It's one of those baits that I have a lot of confidence in, that I could tie on, fire it out there, and catch me some bass. So today, I'm going to talk about my rod and reel setup, maybe one of my favorite jerkbaits, how I store my jerkbaits, and also some of the techniques that I've learned from fishing a jerkbait that have helped me improve as a jerkbait fisherman and put some more bass in the boat using a jerkbait. Now, first and foremost, I'm not a professional. I just love jerkbait fishing, and I've caught a lot of fish with a jerkbait. So what I share with you today works for me. My rod and reel works for me. It works for my fishing style. It works for the way I set the hook. Everything about that works for me. One thing with any technique, no matter what it is, you cannot be a copycat of somebody else. You can learn from them, take tips from them, and implement it into your own style and see what works for you. Because in this fishing game, it's all about learning, it's all about experimenting, it's all about trying to trick that fish with a little tiny brain to eat a lure that's not real and get them in the boat. So what I share with you today, take it for what you want, take parts that you like, and see if it works for you. We're all about here helping each other catch some bass. All right, so let's get started. Let's talk about my rod and reel setup first, and then we'll get into my storage and my favorite baits. So this year, I was fortunate enough to put together, this was the first year I actually had a rod and reel combo designated and designed just for jerkbait fishing. American Legacy had a sale earlier in the year for a Daiwa Tatula SVTW reel. This is in an 8-to-1 gear ratio. I absolutely love this thing. It palms so nice in my hand. And so I picked one of these up and put it on a St. Croix, the jerk rod. This is a 6'8" medium fast action. Now I know some of you are probably thinking, well, jerkbait's treble hooks. Shouldn't you have a moderate instead of a fast? And the answer is, that depends. Again, it depends on your style of fishing and what you do. I really like the fast tip of this rod. It allows me to barely move my rod to get that bait to twitch in the water, to get that jerkbait to do what it's supposed to do. It doesn't require a lot of effort on my end. And this rod is kind of soft down the blank. So it has a little bit of that moderate bend, and it's not just a true fast that most rods are. Now, there are a lot of companies out there that make very specific rods for specific applications. And to me, St. Croix knocked it out of the park with this jerk rod. Now, there's other companies, like I said, that have other great jerkbait rods. You just have to find what works for you. This worked for me this year. If you can see, I'll put it up there. That is my favorite jerkbait of the year. And that is the Megabass Vision 110 junior size. This junior size has really done a number for me this year. I've caught a lot of fish, put a lot of fish in the boat using that Megabass Vision 110 Junior. Now, I don't just fish the jerkbait in the wintertime. I fish it year round. One of my biggest bass this year came at the end of May on a jerkbait. Now, what I've learned with forward-facing sonar technology and watching the pros is that you don't have to work your jerkbait in the traditional fashion of where people would just jerk it. You go jerk, pause, count down, jerk, jerk, pause again. You're waiting and waiting and waiting. My ADHD is kicking in and I'm like, I gotta jerk it some more. What I've learned is you can fish a jerkbait a lot faster than what we had originally been taught. I've seen it for myself on forward-facing sonar. When I'm fishing a jerkbait, I jerk, jerk, pause, jerk, 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 pause. And I'm just pausing for just a second, maybe 2 seconds at the most. And most of the time, what I've noticed this year is that they're not hitting it on the pause. They're hitting it. When I jerk it, they're coming up and hitting it. It's when it's trying to flee, that triggers that bass. It's like, oh wait, it's not quite dead yet. I got to eat it. That's what I've seen using forward-facing sonar technology this year. If you ever watched Justin Hamner fish a jerkbait, either the classic or fork last year, he works a jerkbait really fast. Some other pros work it quick too. And I kind of incorporated that into my style this year, and it really put a lot of bass in the boat. Again, the traditional way still works. It works for some people. It works for me when that water temperature drops way down and I do need to get the bass's attention a little bit longer. I will give more of a 2 or 3 second pause, but I'm not sitting there for an eternity anymore before I twitch it and start moving it to the boat. So that's just my technique now. It's more of a twitch, twitch, pause, twitch, pause, twitch, 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 pause. One of the things is always vary your cadence. I don't do the same number each time. I kind of vary it up to make it more random, to make it more realistic as a fish twitching in the water instead of just a methodical way back to the boat. All right, in my kayak, how do I store these crankbaits? I fell in love with this box right here. This is the Plano Edge 3700 jerkbait box. This box right here is awesome. So the reason I love this jerkbait box is because it keeps the treble hooks from hooking onto each other. Now we've all fished with treble bait hooks before. You go to pull one out of a box and you get a bunch with you. Now, I still have some of these Plano waterproof boxes. And again, as you can see, I have some jerkbaits in here. And if I go to pull a jerkbait out, typically, that one failed, but typically I get this. When you pull the one jerkbait out, you usually get a few others, and you got to sit there and shake them all off, get them to unhook, gets hooked on the box, and it really takes a lot of time. As you can see, jerkbaits are not being cooperative. It takes a lot of time to get them unhooked so you can switch out your jerkbait quickly and get back to fishing, because it's all about efficiency on the water. And in that Plano Edge box, I have efficiency on the water when I'm switching out those jerkbaits. So again, that's what I do. That's the way I like to fish a jerkbait. Hopefully you guys got some tips from there. Maybe there's something I used or that you like that you might want to incorporate into what you do. Now, if you like this video, hit that like and subscribe button down below. Comment down below. What is your favorite jerkbait? What is your jerkbait rod and reel setup? Or if you're not sure, you're still trying to dip your toes in the water of jerkbait fishing, ask questions. If you have any questions about how to fish a jerkbait, what type of jerkbait you should start with, maybe rod and reel suggestions, leave those down below in the comment section and I'll get back to you, because I love talking fishing. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, write them down below. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, if you can, get out and fish and catch some bass. Thank you guys. Have a great day.